welcome to another RSR. Tonight we are reacting to the 2024 Concacaf Champions Cup draw. Reacciones de la Sorteo de la Copa de Campeones de la Concacaf. Preliminary round was what they drew. The round of 16 is already set up with a bracket, with a preliminary round feeding into it. So we know our round of 16 ties as well, which I will go over those as well. Not as much reaction to those because, I mean, we don't know exactly what they'll be, but we know the outline. So we'll start with the preliminary round ties. Preliminary round 1 is Philadelphia Union versus Saprissa. Saprissa won a play-in to get into the tournament. Philadelphia Union, of course, were third place in Leagues Cup. Philadelphia Union and Saprissa have played each other before in Champions League in CONCACAF play, and it was pretty testy when that tie happened, and people were a little bit pissed on both sides. Played each other before. We got a rematch of a tie that was a war, an all-out war in the preliminary round. First tie drawn, by the way, and I think Philadelphia Union, even if their form wasn't so great, I think they should play well against Saprissa and get through. In that situation, I think Saprissa will put up a fight. I think it'll be a war once again. These teams have history, and I can't wait to see them play each other because I want to see how this history unfolds. Because if there's history, it's going to be more enjoyable, you know? So, I can't wait to see it. It should be a very good tie. Preliminary round 2, Toluca FC versus CS Herediano. Herediano was in the semifinals of the Central American Cup. Toluca got in through Liga MX, being one of the, top 4 best teams in Liga MX. It was really confusing what they did besides the champions. But they got in through the league. That much I can say for certainty. Herediano, Toluca. Toluca got rid of Ambriz. They did really well under Ignacio Ambriz. And then they got rid of him. For what reason? I couldn't tell you. Does this mean they're pickable by Herediano? Herediano can make an upset? Yes. I think they can. This tie definitely is not as far off as you think. Toluca is definitely, like the last time they were in Champions League, they are in a enviable, I wouldn't say enviable, but a unsafe position. They could be taken out by a lower seeded side. It's interesting. Preliminary round 3, Club America versus Real Esteli FC. Real Esteli, of course, the runners-up of the Central American Cup. America got in through Liga MX, not the top 2. They were seeded in this draw. They didn't have to go out of pot 1. They were already seeded, but which doesn't make any sense because it was 11 ties anyway. They could have been drawn, but whatever. They were already seeded in 3. They got through on the aggregate table of Liga MX. Good enough to make it. Here we are. I think America obviously, they're hot right now, and they still should be hot in February. They're going to be fine. Like, they are a team that you don't want to mess with right now. I still think, yeah, they're very likely to win the Liguilla as well, just so you know. Against Tigres, that's my prediction because I don't have time to make a prediction for that match. So I'll throw that in there as well. I think America's the favorite, and I'm going to say America wins the Liguilla. Not that I want to see it, but if that person who said they were going to send me an America jersey, if they win a trophy this year, if they remember their bet, at least I'm getting an America jersey. Just saying. Toluca, or not Toluca, America, they should still beat Esteli. I mean, Esteli were the Cinderellas, but when it looked like levels were too much for them, they got slapped up Alajuelense. I think that's a similar situation that we're looking forward to here in this tie, is that Esteli's going to get slapped up again after being the Cinderellas, and it's going to hurt. Like, their story ended anticlimactically, but also the epilogue is about to end anticlimactically. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my guess. I'm sort of giving away some predictions, but whatever. Preliminary round 4, Chivas versus Forge FC. My Canadian Premier League side. I think Forge could win this tie. Chivas have not been too great recently. Forge can win. I know there's 2 months before this tie. I know there's a transfer window. I know there's refuerzos. I get that. But Forge can make some signings as well. But Forge, the last time they played, and I think Cruz Azul, when they played each other in Champions League back in 22, was in a better position than Chivas is now. Forge played well against Cruz Azul. So, in that case, I have a good feeling for Forge. I feel like they can make a run, win this tie, pull something off. They're not a team you could sleep on. Chivas, they'll probably win. They're the slight favorite, but I don't think they should be that big of a favorite. You don't know what you're talking about if you're going to say they're that big of a favorite. Especially with the way things are going on down there. It's my opinion, though. Preliminary round 5. New England Revolution versus Club Atletico Independiente. Independiente, of course, not runners-up, a semifinalist in Central American Cup. Revolution got in by the skin of their teeth thanks to Columbus Crew winning MLS Cup. They got in because Columbus moved up to the round of 16. New England got to backfill. And there you go. So, they shouldn't even be here. Columbus earned it for them. They lost Bruce Arena. They're in absolute shambles, that locker room and the front office. Who their manager is going to be, I don't know. If it's Bob Bradley, I hope Bob Bradley gets beaten by Independiente like Toronto did back in 2019. It's the only thing that would make my soul smile. So hopefully they do hire Bob Bradley and then he gets owned by Independiente. That would be amazing. I would love it. I would laugh. If I find an Independiente jersey, if that's about to happen, that'd be good as well. So we'll see. Independiente has a better chance than you think as well. Preliminary round 6. Houston Dynamo FC versus St. Louis City SC. Houston Dynamo won the Open Cup. St. Louis City finished top of the West in the regular season, then crapped their pants in the playoffs. Are St. Louis going to do better in this tie? Who knows? Could be a sophomore slump. Early returns of a sophomore slump. Houston, are they going to be as good as they were this year? Was this a one-year wonder? Who's to say? There's a lot that, if you go by current form, Houston should win this tie. If you go by, well, we don't know what the hell is going to happen because both these teams are probably in flux to a certain extent. Well, we don't know what's going to happen either. It's going to be interesting. Let's hope St. Louis wins. That's all I hope. Preliminary round 7. Tigres UANL versus Vancouver Whitecaps FC. Another Champions League rematch. Play each other in 2017. In the quarterfinals. No, semifinals. Quarterfinals was Red Bull. Yeah, semifinals. But they played each other in 17 before it was a straight knockout. Davies was there back then. Love Richie Larea, but he ain't no Davies. I don't even know if he's staying. I hope not. I hope he goes back to Toronto or goes to Europe. I don't like him being in Vancouver. Doesn't feel right. Tigres still has Gignac, Cordova playing well. Tigres has made 2 Liga MX finals. They won 1 in the Clausura. That's why they're here. They could win the Apertura this year. They've already qualified for next year's Champions Cup as well. 25s, I should say. Thanks to that. They could be bicampeonato going into this tie. That's not going to be a great look for Vancouver. I can tell you that much. Oh, by the way, I don't even know if they're going to let Vanni Sartini coach these games. Because, yeah, he got suspended for 6 MLS games. But why would you let him coach another tournament that he's not suspended for if he's suspended for 6 MLS games? I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Preliminary round 8. Orlando City SC versus Calvary FC. Orlando versus Calvary. Again, this tie, either team could win. Calvary's got a shot. If Duncan McGuire's on fire and still playing for Orlando, they could win. I'll be rooting for Calvary. But again, both teams can win. It's a pretty even tie. Orlando did get beat. They were the second best team in the league, but they got beat in the playoffs by Columbus Crew, which at least they got beat by the defending or the new champions. But they should be better against Calvary. But they did struggle against Nashville, and Calvary could be that hard-nosed, so it'll be interesting. Preliminary round 9. CF Monterrey versus Comunicaciones FC. Comunicaciones won a play-in. CF Monterrey, of course, got in through Liga MX. Yeah, because they finished 4th in League's Cup. Comunicaciones Monterrey, I think Monterrey's the favorite here. They have a guy like Canales. They have good players. Monterrey should beat Comunicaciones. Comunicaciones will put on a good fight, but I don't see much more than that. Preliminary round 10. FC Cincinnati versus Cavalier FC. Cavalier was the worst team in the draw. Worst ranked team in the draw. Cincinnati should be able to handle them, even if Brandon Vasquez is gone. Bupenza should be able to get on to a good start. Luciano Acosta is Luciano Acosta, defending MVP in MLS. Yeah, I think Cincinnati's probably going to rip them to shreds. Probably. Preliminary round 11. I know you need Concacaf experience, but I have a good feeling for Cincinnati. Just a hunch. And then finally, Nashville SC versus Mocha FC. Mocha won the play-in of the Caribbean Cup. And Nashville, of course, got second place in Leagues Cup. Nashville got a great striker now in Sam Surridge. They still have Hani Mukhtar for now. And hopefully they don't listen to some people who say Mukhtar should be sold, because that was just stupid. Nashville should be able to just beat Mocha by like 3 or 4, even with defensive football. Nashville should win that tie. Round of 16 ties. CF Pachuca, the best-ranked Liga MX champion, or the highest, or the better-performing Liga MX champion, seeded into the round of 16, playing the preliminary round 1 winner, Philadelphia Saprissa. SV Robin Hood, the Caribbean Cup champion, plays the winner of preliminary round 2, Toluca or CS Herediano. The winner of preliminary round 3, America or Real Esteli, play the winner of preliminary round 4, Chivas or Forge. El Diablo Valencia, the Caribbean Cup or Central American Cup winner, plays the winner of preliminary round 5, New England versus Club Atletico Independiente. So we could have a look at what could have been the final of the Central American Cup had Independiente won. Columbus Crew versus the winner of preliminary round 6, Houston Dynamo versus St. Louis City. St. Louis has already been whipped by Columbus Crew, and Houston, well, Columbus is doing really good right now. Preliminary round 7, of course, Columbus Crew, the MLS Cup champion. Preliminary round 7, the winner of Tigres Vancouver plays the winner of Orlando Calvary. Preliminary round 9, Monterrey, the winner of Monterrey Comunicaciones plays the winner of Cincinnati Cavalier. And then finally, Inter Miami CF, the Leagues Cup champion, plays the winner of preliminary round 11, Nashville or Mocha. So we could have a Leagues Cup final rematch. I just realized. Most likely we will in Champions Cup. Huh. That's something. Well, there you go. That should be interesting. And they will play in Miami. Well, there you go. So, there are your round of 16 ties. Those are your preliminary round ties. Very interesting tournament. Very interesting tournament, of course. Yep. Pachuca, Robin Hood, prelim, 3 Ala Valencia, and 1 quartile, 1 half of the bracket to play quarterfinals and semis. Columbus, 7-9, and Miami on the other side. I say Philly beats Pachuca. Philly, Robin Hood. America, Ala Valencia. Columbus, Tigres. Monterrey, Miami, Philadelphia, America. I like Columbus, yeah. Columbus, Miami, America. Yeah, I think the final will probably end up being in Miami, America, yeah. If you look at the bracket. I won't make my true predictions until February. That's just me going through it quickly. Yeah, the final could be Miami, America. They'll get what they wanted at Leagues Cup. They could get what they wanted at Leagues Cup, but should be interesting. I mean, that's where I'm leaning right now, but I got 2 months to make my predictions. Any crazy things could change something. Who knows? That's why you don't make true predictions till the start or closer to the tournament because, you know, refuerzos and injuries and all that. So there you go. With that being said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribe. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I shall see you tomorrow for a live and review of the first leg of the Liga MX Apertura final. Tigres versus Club America. There you go. I'll see you tomorrow for that. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you later.